All right, day 14. What is going on? We have some instructions, or actually some like particles. Uh, toroidal, number of robots in each quadrant. Okay. What do the lines look like? After 100 seconds. Okay. Yes, these can be positive or negative numbers. Yes. Um, so what is the total size? 101 by 103. Okay. Um, what is a quadrant? Exactly in the middle. Okay, fine. Jesus. Um, okay. But what are the conditions here? What is this? It's just 50, right? Greater than 51. Uh, something like this. Like that's wrong. Was wrong. 45. Super wrong. Examples 11 by 7. I want to do this. Not really. Mm, $60. What the hell? Uh, oh. Uh, X over 2. Be like that? Well, that was terrible. Uh, to display the Easter egg. Huh. Okay. Most of robots. Oh. Hmm. How can I solve this? Not fast enough to get points. Nice. Hmm. Fast way to do this. The correct way to detect a Christmas tree. Doubts. Am I even doing the right thing here? 137. Yeah. I mean, that is clearly a picture of a Christmas tree. Yeah. Okay. Well, no points again. Kind of cool problem. So what's going on here? So we're given this list of robots with positions and velocities. And in part one, we say run the robots for 100 seconds and then count how many are in each quadrant, which gave me a huge amount of trouble figuring out quadrants. And I guess I've deleted that code, so I'll need to figure it out again. Good times. Maybe we'll do faster this time. Okay, and they say, like, we don't count the middle lines. And because the dimensions are odd, uh, then there should not be a problem with that, except, okay, so the middle is that, right? Uh, so we want if px is less than mx and py is less than my, q1 equals 1, if px greater than mx and py less than my, q2, px less than mx, py greater than my, q3, px greater than mx and py greater than my, q4, and then if t equals 100, print 1, Q2, Q3, Q4. This is part 1. Let's see if that's right. Okay, so that prints 229 something or other 4456. So why was that so hard for me? Okay. Um, right, so part 1. Well, okay, so what are we saying? Run the robots forward 100 seconds. So what does it mean to run the robot forward? Every second, you add its velocity to the x position and its y velocity to the y position. And then it says it wraps around the grid if it goes out of bounds. So if it's less than x, then you add x to get it back in bounds. Well, it's more than x, you subtract x from it to get it back in bounds. You want it in the bound 0 inclusive to x exclusive. And the same thing for y to get it back in bounds. And then we can figure out the middle line, which is just x over 2, y over 2. And the quadrants are just less than, all four combinations of less than the middle, greater than the middle for x and y. And so in part one, we just want to print out the product of the number of robots in each quadrant. And then in part two, it's a very short but confusing statement. It says, sometimes the robots look like a Christmas tree. When does that happen? So I'm not sure if there's like a sort of clean way of doing this. But what I eventually settled on was like, let's count how many components the robots form. If the number of components is small, then maybe they're making an interesting picture. Uh, and I guess what turned out to be interesting to look at is if the number of components is less than 350. I should print the components as well. Guess we don't want this stuff. So that's the answer to part one. And then for part two, okay, so this example has 143 components, I guess. So, sure. And you can see very clearly that there's a nice Christmas tree. I mean, the problem is you can't print out 7,000 grids, so you need some way of like filtering out the interesting looking grids. So what I said is, okay, well, let's count, the number of connected components of hash marks here. It should be small. Apparently, I probably like flipped my grid around because I presume it's supposed to be upright. And if it's small, right, in this case it's 143, there's 500 robots, so you wouldn't kind of expect that by chance. There must be something interesting going on. I set it to 350, so this also prints out this like meaningless grid before, but whatever. Like this one you can see is the good one, and whatever, it prints out some more meaningless stuff too. There appears to be a cycle, some frequency. Anyway, that is it for today. See you tomorrow.